Teaching writing skills. Approaches to teaching writing. There are two approaches to teaching writing in the classroom: the product approach and the process approach. The product approach is the more traditional one. This approach encourages students to imitate a model text that they are already familiar with. The text has been presented and analyzed before the writing activity. Here are some characteristics of the product approach. The writing task is less difficult to complete because it is part of more controlled practice. The organization of ideas is more important than the ideas themselves. The focus is on the final product. Model texts are emulated. It is more of an individual task. The product approach to teaching writing incorporates several steps. Step 1, the students read the model texts. Throughout the reading process, the students, with the teacher's help, identify the major features of the text, such as use of the language, the choice of words for the genre of the text, the organization of ideas, stylistic characteristics, and so on. For example, if they are studying formal email writing, you might want to focus their attention on the importance of the greeting, the opening paragraph, the language used to make formal requests, and the closing. Step 2. The students do more controlled activities to practice the feature of the genre to be learned. For instance, if the goal is to teach them how to write a formal email, the students may be asked to practice phrases that are commonly used when making requests, such as, "Can you?" "I would appreciate if you could," etc. Step 3. At this stage, the focus is on how the ideas are organized in the model text, which is then copied by the students. Step 4. During the final stage, the students have to produce their own text by following the model. They will use the vocabulary, structures, and other things they have been taught when producing similar writing on their own. The process approach to teaching writing is a more creative process. It incorporates a number of language teaching activities: brainstorming, mind mapping, group discussions, and rewriting. During the process, the students learn to think about what they are going to write, produce drafts, receive feedback, review, restructure, and reorganize everything before they get to the final product. The role of the teacher in the process approach is also different. They are more of a facilitator in the writing process, responding more to the content of the written text than to its form. The teacher is actively engaged in the writing process by giving positive feedback before the final product is reached. The process approach is characterized by the following. It focuses on creativity. It fosters collaboration and group work. The process approach is more global since the focus is on the purpose, theme, and text type, putting more emphasis on the reader. The process approach incorporates several steps. Step 1. In the first step, the students are asked to generate ideas by brainstorming and group discussion on a topic of their choice. A variety of techniques can be used to facilitate this process. Prioritize and organize the brainstormed ideas with mind mapping, the creation of lists and charts, and other similar activities. This is a collaborative process involving multiple students. The teacher is a discussion facilitator, providing language support where needed. At this stage, the students should also select the type of text, whether it will be a letter or a newspaper article or something else, and how each one would be different. Step 2. In the next step, the students are asked to produce the first drafts of their text. This is usually a collaborative process with the students working either in pairs or in groups. This collaborative writing is especially valuable since it involves other skills like speaking, critical thinking, or creative thinking. The students then exchange drafts to help improve them with peer feedback or feedback from the teacher. Step 3. At this stage, the students get back their drafts and make revisions to the text with the feedback in mind. This lets the students revisit their texts, reorganize their ideas, add or remove sentences, rethink their word choices, and so on, in order to assure that the ideas they put forth are conveyed clearly. The fact that the students are encouraged to go back to their texts and produce more refined drafts allows them to focus more on the process of writing than on the product itself, which is an essential part of process writing. Step 4, the students finalize their drafts. Step 5, the students exchange their texts once more and read each other's work.